Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Monaco Grand Prix 2025 broadcast on CCF1 TV. I'm Kenny Charter, accompanied by Kevin Korstein. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon indeed.
So, we are ready to start one of the most famous races of the season. As you have the track map on your screen, quick description of the slowest layout of the season. A pretty fast sector 1, followed by a slow sector 2, the tunnel sector, braking zone in turns 10 and 11 is one of the two slim chances to overtake around this place. And the Sector 3 is one of the most famous and most satisfying parts to watch on board on this track. The single DRS zone is the home straight. A quick recap of the qualifying results. Jack Teff, the championship leader, took his first pole of the season, followed by a surprising Jason Roy in the Alpine. Väisänen keeps his qualifying form going with the third place, followed by Springfield, who gets her second row of the season. Simon Snicek, also pretty consistent in qualifying, is in third row with Duarte Sardinia, the pole sitter from Bahrain. Lucas Wright, reigning champion, is 7th, some fact 8th. Aaron Hagen, the winner of the Japanese Grand Prix, is 9th on the grid. Among the notables who had a disappointing qualifying, yet again, Liam De La Cruz missed Q3. This is his 5th missed Q3, and in fact his 5th missed Q2 in the last 6 races. Michael Zwart, for the very first time of the season, misses Q3. He's going to start 10th on the grid. Both McLarens also failed to make it into Q3, with Nathaniel and Zhao Lei starting 12th and 14th. Alright, we're already hearing the cars on the warm-up lap coming back onto the grid. We're gonna switch to the track view. The safety car is about to leave the track and leave the drivers, and the red lights do their own.
As we have the 5 red lights now on, and it's lights out.
And
And
the
away
last
we
turn
go.
off, and we are racing in Monaco. First turn, Väisänen is able to jump Jason Roy on the first corner, and we have Liam De La Cruz actually collided with someone. I believe it's Robin Keisner, and there is damage for the Ferrari of Liam De La Cruz. The nightmare continues for the Ferrari driver. Let's have a quick look at the replay. Oh, he actually just bumped into the car in front of him. It's not anything more than that. It's his own fault. He just bumped into the car in front of him. So weather-wise, the conditions are fairly good for the first 20-30 minutes of racing, as it seems. But as we mentioned yesterday multiple times, this race is going to be animated with rain showers. It is forecast to have heavy rain around this place, as Sam Fact is trying to dive around the chicane, and he managed to pass. I don't believe there was any contact. And Aaron Hagen actually around the outside of the next corner gets his spot back. So I was saying that the weather is forecast to be rainy, and target for the beginning of the rain period is at around lap 15 or 20 from the latest forecasts.
And Leon Delacroix has
Le-
retired.
De La
After-
Cruz unfortunately has some terminal damage to, I guess, the suspension or something along these lines on top of the wings, forced to retire the car. Robin Keisner under investigation. I believe it's really Limes De La Cruz fault. I don't think that Keisner has anything to really blame himself for. Strategy-wise, of course, teams are looking to start on the hardest tire they have available and wait for the rain to fall, because we are not going to use slick tires for a very long time. Hards for Tef, mediums for Väisänen, most drivers on hards. Notable medium choices are both Racing Bulls, Lucas Wright and Quarterkev, who chose a medium tire to start the race. They're expecting to be able to cover until the rain comes. Eetu Väisänen tries to put Jack Teff on the harder compound under pressure. It's of course extremely complicated to overtake around this place. There are only two spots where it is possible. We've seen the braking zone at the exit of the tunnel, and of course the home straight is another possibility.
And actually we have seen Williams is now running their special livery that they were talking about. As we go into the fourth lap of the race now, Väisänen is really close. Can he do something?
He's pretty close. DRS is enabled, so
I don't think he's
maybe
not
has a
close
chance.
enough. He's not close enough for this time around.
Not close enough indeed. The slipstream effect is not strong enough to compensate the lacking
But
top
he is
speed from the
trying.
Ferrari, but Väisänen is actually trying somehow here. It's true that it's possible with enough traction to try between turn 1 and turn 2, but it's so risky. It's so risky. We might actually see that when it rains, because as soon as someone has a bad exit of turn 1, then the traction difference could allow fighting in turns 2 and 3. But that's of course dependent on a mistake, a slight mistake from the driver ahead. Eetu Väisänen applying pressure on Jack Teff. Jack Teff on his hard compound, without a surprise, is escaping away from Jason Roy and the drivers that Jason Roy block behind him. Actually, it's more Sarah Springfield that blocks drivers behind her. Of course, there is... Oh! We have a replay apparently concerning Jack Teff. What happened for him?
And that's the first warning for him.
Oh, he
got the corner. That's the first warning.
He drove over the curb there. That's a track limits warning for Jack Teff. So watch out. It's early to get a track limits warning, knowing it's gonna rain after. So if it happens 2 more times, he might get a penalty. So watch out. Jack Teff made the mistake here that he probably should not afford to make. Of course, at this stage of the race, it's gonna be pretty stale for a moment. It's Monaco, ladies and gentlemen. There will not be as much fireworks as on some other tracks, like the track we are going to visit in the next Grand Prix, which is Barcelona, which allows for a lot more fighting, and then the weeks after as well, with Canada and Austria, that also allow for a lot of on-track action. But in Monaco, it's more strategic and avoiding the mistakes. um, having the position on the track is such a huge advantage. It's practically impossible to overtake except 3 places around this track.
Now
Nick
we see a
Bayer on the
replay.
replay.
Nick Bayer, did he cut the corner? Yes, that's a violation again.
Yeah,
That's
he
his
cut
first.
the curb there. That curb that has been lowered to prevent accidents in case someone um, drives over it slightly unbalanced. But of course, those cuts are noted, and an excessive amount of track limit violations would incur a 5-second penalty. Lucas right at the exit of the tunnel, not able to get alongside here. Eetu Väisänen is really putting a ton of pressure on Jack Teff. But is he able to overtake on the home straight? That's the question. Lucas Wright also looking for an opportunity on Duarte Sardinia.
Now
Have
Springfield.
another replay to show. It's also in turn 16. It's Sarah Springfield with the same mistake that we saw Jack Teff doing earlier.
We have 3 warnings now between drivers.
Lucas Wright is very close. Is he trying to get alongside there? Not quite. It's extremely difficult to do so here. But it's one of the spots where it's possible if you have a traction difference at the exit of turn 1. In my opinion, there should be some sort of DRS zone in between turn 1 and turn 2. That would make the whole thing more interesting.
There should be one.
Because that would reward the drivers who are very close after turn 1 a bit more.
Yeah.
We could also imagine a DRS zone on the whole tunnel straight, but the FIA refused to set up one because they judged the downforce level required to drive the tunnel straight flat out insufficient with the DRS. Something that has been contested, however.
Väisänen still
Väisänen right behind Tuff. He's going to see the Williams rear wing sponsor for quite a long time. To not mention it. A battery sponsor. Wonderful onboard here, and you can see also how difficult it is for the driver to actually see far beyond the car that is ahead, because there are walls around, so you do not quite have a wide field of sight, in fact. And for Väisänen, especially in the Ferrari, it's going to be difficult to overtake anywhere here because Ferraris lack top speed. So it's definitely not going to their advantage. His best chance might be what he just attempted here again. That could be his best shot.
That could be, but
But
no,
anywhere
it's still
else
not.
seems borderline impossible.
Yeah. And that might be the race, because we might not see any overtakes here. Maybe on the pit lane when they make their pit stop.
And maybe on the wet track as well, just due to the mistakes that could happen, or drivers being ultra scared in those conditions, letting opportunities to for other drivers to overtake based on traction from the previous corner, which can happen in turn number 2. A2 Väisänen
And
still
actually,
following very closely.
Jason Roy is keeping up with them. He has lost Springfield.
Actually, indeed. And Lucas Wright lost Sardinia's DRS. He's now followed by Eren Eigen. And Eren Eigen is actually right behind him, applying pressure. He's very, very close from Lucas Wright from the intervals. Less than 2/10, he's really following closely.
But still no chance for him to overtake. But he is keeping the pressure up. Maybe
Probably not now, but
maybe Lucas Wright will make a mistake.
as the medium tire will wear out, maybe yes. And we can see Jack Teff is slowly picking up pace and he's controlling his tire so well. Worth noting, we mentioned it yesterday, but Williams have their special livery for this Sunday. What a way to celebrate would it be for Teff to win this Grand Prix? Simon Snicek pretty close behind Springfield, but not quite able to attack her. However, he's very close going into turn 2. Does he have enough slipstream to be able to get alongside here? Not quite. The attempt was nice, but it is so difficult here. Pretty troublesome to overtake here, indeed. But that doesn't mean the leaderboard won't change until the end of the race. There is rain to come. There are pit stop strategies to be executed. Pit stop adaptations, I should say. And rain's gonna be heavy, so there's gonna be a jump from slicks to intermediates, and also potentially gambling for full wets might happen. So we will see interesting things from the teams, I guess.
Brandy is behind Xiaolei now and can't get past, but he is looking very closely for a chance.
Enjoy these beautiful views while you can. It's going to rain pretty soon. It's time to enjoy the scenery.
As we hear,
And drivers certainly do.
yeah, as we hear from the Red Bull team crew, that rain is 15 minutes away.
Translation in about 12 laps. It might strike around lap 24. That's what we're hearing from team communications. And A2 Väisänen dropped ejective slipstream, probably to preserve his medium tire and make sure he doesn't.
There is a battle now going on. Sam Fact is
Eren Eigen trying.
Sam Fact is trying to
Sam Fact trying to overtake Eigen down the hairpin, and he manages to do that.
No,
Sam
he's still
Fact,
side by side.
oh, the response from Eigen, and he's gonna be ahead on the tunnel straight. What an attempt from Sam Fact, and also what a respect from Eigen to actually leave the room and race it cleanly on the next turn. Hats off to the drivers to not have crashed there. It's so common to see crashes in that hairpin when desperate attempts occur.
As you see, Väisänen has dropped off from Jack Def's DRS.
And Lucas Wright, Duarte Sardinia, and Simon Snitschek are pretty close to each other. Snitschek, who tried to overtake Springfield, is now slowly dropping the pace as he's on the mediums, and Springfield on the hard has a lot more tire durability. Väisänen managed to close the gap a little bit. He probably cooled off his tire by staying away from the DRS.
Will he be able to make something out of it?
And Väisänen's closing by. And we are seeing behind on the camera, Sardinia is pretty close as well. But that will be hard to overtake Snitschek because he has the DRS of Sarah Springfield already. DRS on, and not quite a chance to overtake here.
And there has been
Väisänen,
an
oh!
overtake.
A2 Väisänen managed to overtake between turn 2 and turn 3. He managed to do the move that I was mentioning earlier. A2 Väisänen pulling off behind the cameras. One of the most difficult moves you can find on any track. He was close enough, got him on traction between turn 1 and turn 2 and 3. What a move from A2 Väisänen. And he's the new leader of the Monaco Grand Prix. Gosh, I wish the... I wish the broadcast stage manager had the camera of Väisänen and Tef available to see that live. We unfortunately missed that move. It is one of the moves of the weekend for sure. There aren't gonna be a lot like these. And now he's pushing and trying to pull away from Tef.
And he has done so right now because he has lost Jack Def from the DRS. So we see the only battle on the track right now. Simon Frisnek and Sardinia.
Hey. He's taking a huge lead. Probably switched engine mode and ERS on, and he got him on reacceleration. It's really funny.
And it's getting overcasty now. As we get closer to the rain.
Indeed, closer and closer we get.
And now teams are starting to report rain in 5 to 10 minutes. So the rain is very close now.
5 minutes for the rain. The target of lap 24 could actually be even optimistic. It could rain by lap 21 or 20. And A2 Väisänen just opened a 2.4 second gap. What an overtake move from Väisänen.
Yeah, the only move so far.
What a
this
driver.
race.
And you can see the skies getting a lot darker all of a sudden.
Now we can see the rain is moving in at the rate of not.
We are not seeing raindrops quite yet. And we still have some light here, but it's clear that the brightness, the light has definitely changed. And Jack Tuff is actually conceding ground on Jason Roy now.
Yeah, but
He
now
has
the
the
track
hard tire.
temperature.
I'm surprised he doesn't push more.
Yeah, now the track temperature gonna start dropping, and will the medium tire now play out, or will the hard
I
tire
don't think
keep
so.
on?
It's already worn out quite a bit.
Yeah, it might be.
So
But
I don't think so.
now
Oh, Simon
Simon
Snitchek
Trusnik.
trying to overtake. He does successfully the turn 2 and 3 overtake. The E2 Väisänen move. Simon Snitchek with his medium able, even at the end of their life, to succeed and overtake on Sarah Springfield. He's now 4th, and it's actually the overtake that we might see the most would be that one.
Yeah.
Not the turn 1, not the end of a tunnel.
We'll see what now happens, because he's already dropped Springfield, and now Springfield is in another danger of Sardinha. We'll see if that overtake happens now. But he is struggling
And
now.
himself under the threat of Lucas Wright.
Springfield is struggling now.
So let's see how Duarte Sardinia prepares his overtake in turn 2. He's just seen Snitchek do it, so he can probably trying to mimic the maneuver, and he's not quite close enough to do it this time.
Already Simon Trusnik has a 1.7 second gap. And there is already a 7-second gap between Jason Roy and Simon Trusnik.
The podium spots are looking pretty good for the 3 ahead, I'm telling you.
And we can already see in our commentary box windows that the rain is starting. We are seeing some droplets already.
Nothing major. There are maybe 5 or 10 drops of water on the glass pane at the opposite side of the booth. We're yet to see significant rain, but it's about to come. We haven't heard any radio call recently, but we know it's coming pretty soon.
And now we can see it on the camera. It started raining and it's getting even more
Yes.
darker.
It's starting to rain now. It's visible on the camera. It's happening quite suddenly. In fact, still light at the moment, but from where we're sitting, we're seeing the rain fall. In a single minute, it has started falling now quite a bit. We can say it's moderately raining right now, and the track grip is going to drop progressively as the water pours down. Of course, it's going to remain dry in the tunnel. That's the particular thing around this place. There's gonna still be a dry part in the tunnel. That's not gonna be so dry because the water that's going to be brought by the cars is going to make the trajectory somewhat wet in the tunnel. But generally speaking, the tunnel is going to remain mostly dry.
It's not raining that much, but it's raining at least, and it's not covering the track yet, so the track is clear so far. So we could still race on the dry condition.
Indeed, and the track temperatures were reasonably high in the sunshine, meaning that these slick tires, when they drive on the trajectory, just clears the very little amount of water that there is at the moment. With how much longer can the slicks keep grip around this place?
As we see, the tunnel lights now are very white. They're very lighted up now. because of the weather. And there
Lucas
is
Wright
more
very
rain.
close to Sardinia.
And there
Is
more
he going
rain.
to try a turn 1 or turn 2 move? We're going to follow that with biggest attention.
As we
Duarte
hear,
Sardinia himself struggling now.
as we now
And
hear,
Springfield's closing on Snitchek.
as we now hear from the teams that the rain is intensifying in the few minutes. And
Grade
now will
2
Lucas Wright
rain to
try
come in 3
something?
minutes, and Lucas Wright
No.
trying to overtake, not quite. No. Sarah Springfield is also close to Simon Snitchek.
Springfield has
And we can see
closed
on the
gap.
camera that rain is falling more than it has been earlier. And we're hearing from the Haas radio, grade 2 rain at the moment, grade 3 in less than 10 minutes.
So yeah, it's getting very clearly, very worse, very quickly. Right now it's okay to drive on, but it's getting worse. We can see the rain is intensifying now.
The rainfall is now real. The slick tires are still reasonably good at the moment, but how much longer is it going to be?
And now we see a full drizzle of rain coming down the Monaco streets. And when are the people now gonna stop? This is the only driest part of the track right now.
And we're seeing that braking is getting more and more difficult around this place. We can see the lap times have dropped. The lap times right now increasing steadily over 1:15. The fastest lap will remain the property of A2 Väisänen. 1 bonus point if he manages to score points in the main race. The rain is getting now really intense. We're seeing the first bits of sprays in the home straight behind the cars, despite them driving on slicks. Sarah Springfield behind Snitchek. Conditions are getting now insane. We're seeing the skies are getting dark. The night
And
is falling on the Monaco Principality.
Springfield was looking to get past, but no. And there is a battle. Lucas Wright.
Lucas Wright getting overtaken by Aaron Eigen. Aaron Eigen just passed. He just passed Lucas Wright, I believe. And he's now chasing Duarte Sardinia.
As we see how close
and the grip
everyone
conditions
is.
are adverse, and drivers keep the slicks. A2 Väisänen. As we have a radio call from Duarte Sardinia.
I'm gonna stop you there because Sardinia is not Sardinia.
Oh, there's a
Springfield is
battle
trying-
down the chicane. They touch. Simon Snitchek
Eigen-
touched,
Eigen
and
is
Duarte
trying-
Sardinia is now overtaking Aaron Eigen. Aaron Eigen is attacking Sardinia. Sardinia is defending himself from Aaron Eigen.
There is
It's
two battles.
now. Oh my goodness! All it took was rain for Monaco to be an actual racing track, and Aaron Eigen almost bumped into Simon Snitchek. Simon Snitchek is gonna bid for Inters, and so does Sam Fact. Other drivers are keeping
full
the
wet.
slick tires at the moment. Are they gambling to pit on full wets? It's full wets immediately for Sam Fact. It's full wets also for all the other cars that are pitting. They're skipping the Inters. Teams are skipping the Inters. Intense rain is coming, and we see it's pouring down right on the home straight. This race is getting crazy. Look at how much it rains here. It's absolutely in a 2-minute span. We've gone from almost dry conditions to now really worsening conditions.
Yeah, we can see already how the drivers are struggling very hardly. And now the full wets are starting to work out for everyone. We're
And
getting
let's
very...
have a look at the sector times. The sector times from Simon Snitchek and from Sam Fact. We're going to understand better if the wet tire, even on a not so wet track at the moment, is already working better than the slicks.
And now Jack Def has reached
It's
the
a
pit
gamble.
lane. Jack Def and
Jack
Väisänen.
Def in the pit lane.
Everyone is now pitting.
Väisänen as well. They're skipping the inters. Teams are skipping the inters. That's very interesting. Every single team skipping the inters. They must have data that we don't have. Radio call right now from Mercedes. Apparently grade 3 rain is gonna last at least for 10 laps. And could be grade 4 at some point.
And we can see how much is now coming down. It's a full rainy conditions. That's the most we have ever seen so far.
So grade 4 rain by definition is a rainfall that is that heavy that standing water could exceed 6 millimeters on the track. So they're expecting grade 4 at some point. We don't know if it rains that much. We actually don't know if there's gonna be a red flag at some point, because these are extreme conditions. And now look at how it's pouring down. We're not seeing further than 500 or 600 meters now. The visibility has gone down so much. And after the pit stops, a quick look at the rankings. Jack Def, A2 Väisänen still following each other in this order. Jason Roy, Simon Snitchek, Sam Fact, Sarah Springfield. Sarah Springfield actually gained a position. No, Sam Fact gained a position and managed to get past Sarah Springfield and is one of the big winners of this pit stop. Aaron Eigen, 7th. Koto Kevu from nowhere managed to get back to 8th position. I don't know if those who waited one more lap to pit actually gained anything, but I believe for some fact it was a winning move, so it must have been a winning move for other cars. The Mercedes have dropped further into the order. The McLarens did not really gain anything either, and we are now in apocalyptic conditions.
And it's getting worse. We have reports that there is at least 4 millimeters of water on track.
Look, the conditions are so difficult. Look at the top speed from Duarte Sardinia in the home straight. It was only 230 kph. It's so difficult to actually put full throttle anywhere now on the track. Look at how much it slides there. You can see how careful the drivers are. This braking zone, in any braking zone in a downhill is going to be critical. This one included, and of course the one at the exit of the tunnel.
Yeah, we can see how the water is flowing down from the hills. We can see it all happening, how it just flows down.
Now down the chicane. And look at the conditions. It's raining more and more and more and more. The rain is absolutely close to what we could expect in some places like Silverstone or a thunderstorm anywhere in the world. It's raining so much that we're actually hearing the rain falling outside of our booth, even with our headsets on. Critical conditions. Also, the drivers are completely wet in the car, of course. Must be so difficult for them.
Jack Def is now ahead of Väisänen again. So Jack Def made the move.
Look at the spray.
Yeah, the spray is already kicking
Yeah, Jack Def actually, yeah, he managed to get ahead with the pit stop. The pit stop from Ferrari was slower, and Jack Def is again in the lead. Now, can we have some battling in these conditions? It will come down to how much drivers can adapt to the conditions and find maybe weaknesses in their opponents' driving. Look at the spray behind the cars. It is definitely tricky around here.
And Lucas Wright is also, he is right behind Sardinha, 1.1 away, but still in the points. So both racing bulls are right now on the points, and we can see how much water, standing water is everywhere on the track.
You can see it shining on the parts of the track that the cars do not drive over. There's quite a bit of water, and at the end of Duarte Sardinia nearly locked up the front left tire. We could see it there on the absolute limit. And surprising, but we haven't seen any mistake, any wall contact, any drama in this race besides Lime Donna Cruz collision on turn 1. We haven't seen any other incident yet. Now, of course, with my caster cursing power, I've just said that. You're gonna see that in less than 1 minute, something's going to happen before our eyes.
So far everyone is driving very curiously, and they are just looking after their cars to not damage them, because they know if you make one mistake here, you're in the wall. And with these conditions, it's not better.
Wow, this sector is so wet. It's so wet around here. Sector 3 is absolutely inundated.
We can see how much it has rained on every sector, and you can see on the camera.
If you have just tuned in front of your TV for the Monaco GP, we are racing in full wet conditions. The whole circuit is flooded, literally flooded with a good half centimeter of standing water, and the drivers are fighting with their nearly 1000 horsepower beasts in narrow streets with walls everywhere and with water on top of that.
Are we gonna see a red flag here because of this rain? Are we gonna see it? Or will we have a race that goes on but very slowly? What will happen now?
We have heard a lot of criticizing towards the FIA.
The drivers are reporting that they can't drive anymore because there is too much standing water.
Whoa. From which driver was this call?
This was Porter-Kevo. To his team.
Porter-Kevo complaining at the radio that it's almost undrivable. And he does not have spray because he's 2 seconds behind the next car. So imagine what it must be for anyone who is following another car. By the way, you can see that most drivers took their distance.
Yeah, they're all taking their distance because they know.
It's all about surviving the rain now. We might not see a lot of racing as long as the rain is this heavy.
You can see how much they spray off the water on the track.
Actually insane.
How are they driving on these conditions? Is the main question. How can they see from the onboards?
We might actually have an onboard camera to confirm what we already know from these conditions. There's so much water in Sector 2 now as well. It's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. So Jacktef is leader. He does not have anyone in front of him. No spray, nothing whatsoever. But look, he nearly kissed the wall there. But if there was a little bit of a wall kiss at the last turn. And that was very much almost a disaster.
Yeah, we can see how how he takes the corners very slowly. He knows.
Even in the straights, 220 kph maximum speed. They're almost able to be faster before turn 2 than before turn 1. It's actually crazy. It's actually on quite a good pace. Complaints from Duarte Sardinia about a mechanical issue. We don't quite know which one it is about.
we see
Randy
now on
Belichick
pole from
following.
Randy Belichick. We can see how hard is it to see for the drivers now. He's behind Riley Svensson. You can only see the rain light but nothing else on the car.
How incredibly difficult it is. And water keeps accumulating every single lap. I'm seeing these cameras. I see more water than there was the lap before. Rain is definitely falling a little bit less hard than earlier on, but still at a pretty steady a pretty steady quantity right now. Oh, this is so difficult around this place, I can tell you that. Randy Belichick filmed right now.
So we now see Jason Roy having a very calm weekend in third place. This is the second year running now that they are third on the Monaco race.
Definitely taking advantage of the quali.
Yeah. But he's alone on track. He's just enjoying the track, as we see. Strisnek is next.
Not sure he's enjoying the rain this much, but he's certainly enjoying the third place at the moment. Could this championship be a story, a battle between Jack Teff and E2 Väisänen at some point?
It might actually be, we don't know that yet. But last year we had 5-way battle on this time, so yeah, we don't know what will happen.
We still pretty much have behind Jack Teff. There are so many contenders that are not far at all.
As we see now the both leaders, Jack Teff and Eetu Väisänen on the screen. Eetu Väisänen is staying in the second range.
Indeed, Eetu Väisänen is not looking to attack Jack Teff at the moment. I believe Ferrari will rely on strategy to beat the Williams driver in the pit lane. If there is a need to get back into the pit lane, it depends if it rains, it keeps raining with this intensity for much longer.
Yeah, we have heard that there is 5.6 millimeters of water, so half a centimeter of water on the track.
And those measurements might be imprecise, as there might be even more standing water in some parts of the track.
Yeah.
Critical conditions around the Monaco street circuit.
As we see fans.
And so far, drivers keeping it clean.
Yeah, as we see fans on the internet saying that the race is so boring that they might fall asleep.
You know what, even if there is no overtake that is possible under these conditions at the moment, just seeing those drivers maneuver between these walls with so much water is a fascinating experience. And we don't get to see this often here.
Yeah. This is now the second year that we run in Monaco. Last year Racing Bulls were 1-2 and there was an Alpine on the podium.
Was indeed a nice memory for the Racing Bulls guys.
the Racing Bulls are 8th and 10th right now. Not a bad weekend from them, but still they might want more points than this to keep their championship
And
alive.
we are hearing from the Ferrari radio that grade 3 rain is gonna keep going for at least 5 minutes and then expect it to weaken a bit.
So yeah, the rain is not over. You can see how the water falls down from the track. See how much it flows down from this sector on the casino square as it is. Jason Roy
A
complaining.
radio
Roy
call from Jason Roy.
complaining about issues on the car.
But he has a sizable lead, so should still be okay for him. Over 30 seconds. Over 13 seconds between Väisänen and Roy.
Väisänen is keeping up with Jack Depp. He's not letting him go. He is doing enough. But they are not closing in even if they want to. We can see the gaps are all on 1 second hands.
And we have the confirmation. Another radio call, this time from Aston Martin, telling Springfield that the rain is gonna weaken from grade 4 to grade 2 in about 3 laps. So track conditions will improve.
So far drivers are taking it very slowly and yeah, making sure that they don't crash and everything. FIA so far has only watched the race. There is no mistakes so far, which is interesting enough on these wet conditions. Even the rookies are not making mistakes.
They're indeed trying to keep it safe, and they're probably all expecting to race later on when the track is a bit better.
We are now on lap 38 out of 78. We have only had 2 overtakes so far and a lot more in the pit lane. So this is a pit lane race, not an on-track race.
It is going to be a pit lane race as we usually have in Monaco on the dry, except that we have not a single pit stop, but probably more than one. And if the track conditions improve, we might see a stint on inters later on.
As we see on the tunnel how there is a wet line because of the cars. We can see that each lap they bring more water in.
Look at this camera angle. The track conditions have never been as bad as they are now. Borderline undrivable, yet the drivers make it possible, and so far nobody making a mistake.
As we see now on the cameras, the terrain is getting lighter. And the darker clouds are going away as of now.
Indeed, it looks like it's raining much less on the pit wall. Of course, you can see there's so much water on the track still.
Mason has now closed the gap on Jack Def, so he knows the conditions are getting better. But still we see how much they kick off the spray. How are Mason seeing right behind him? As we see, he's on
It's
board
definitely
now.
still full wet conditions.
Yeah, we can see how
Look
hard
at the
it-
small puddles that the car ahead is knocking through. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's definitely not the most interesting race that we have seen, but on this track with wet conditions, this is something different.
We had 2 wonderful laps on the transitions with cars actually attacking out of their minds to get position before they pit. But that was pretty much it, and there was of course a fantastic overtake from Väisänen on Jack Tuff. Unfortunately useless as he lost the position in the stands, but
To go on to lap 41 now. It's 15.3 seconds the gap to the first to second to third. The gap is growing.
the gap is steadily increasing. These 2, if there is no safety car, no incident whatsoever, these 2 are gonna be on their island and will be disputing the victory later on today.
Yeah, but Simon Rysnek
The
is
breakaway.
closing on Jason Roy. As we see, he has closed in on the last lap, 4 laps by 2 seconds. So he's taking steps, but he's closing in. And now we see
We
the
can
raining.
see there is definitely less water than earlier on, especially on the trajectory.
Yeah, the track has a lot of terrain where the water can go, and it's quite seeable. And the other tracks we have seen, like last week on Imola, we saw that the water was standing a long time on the track, but this time we can see how it's flowing away pretty fast.
Indeed, we might actually be close to intermediate conditions.
Soon Jack Def and Eetu Väisänen is gonna lap Robin Geisner. Don't know what is happening with him again this time. This is the second time now.
Eetu Väisänen likes to attack and condition changes. He might actually try to overtake before his wet tires overheat if the track is slowly but surely drying down.
They're kicking off less spray as we speak. We can see that.
Jack Teff, leader of the Monaco Grand Prix, with past the halfway point already. It's a pretty slow and long race, of course, as we have 78 laps of a lap that is not that short time-wise.
But there is so far in the wet conditions we haven't had any contacts or anything. Any mistakes? We haven't seen anything.
Indeed. Worth noting that around Monaco, this is the only track of the calendar where we do not race the full 300-kilometer distance.
Yeah. We might even lose more if the rain gets worse.
It's 260 kilometers long, actually. And we're hearing from the Alpine radio telling to Jason Roy there's grade 1 rain at the moment and will last for another 3 laps. Then it will be back to grade 2 and possibly grade 3. So they're thinking about staying with the wet tires out. Tire management will become important because if the track dries up, yes, the inters will be more performant, but if you can save yourself a stop and manage kindly these full wet tires and then keep them when the rain comes back, if the rain comes back, and that's what the forecast seems to tell,
And actually,
then you're gaining practically 2 stops in the maneuver, so it could be important to keep those wets until the end.
interesting thing, Egan has passed Quartergevo somewhere. We didn't see the overtake, but he has. Egan is gone. Egan is behind Springfield now. There was an overtake
Wasn't
somewhere.
he already?
No.
I think he was already.
No, Lucas Wright made the move on Sardinha. Sorry.
After the pits,
After
he
the
was
pit lane, yeah.
ahead already.
Lucas Wright.
Oh, I thought you meant on the track.
On the track, yeah. Somewhere the
Because
overtake happened.
I remember just Egan was one of the early pitters and came out in front, I think.
Oh yeah, that was Egan was 7th, Quartergevo was 8th. Then there was Sardinha, I think, and Lucas Wright. Now Lucas Wright is ahead of Sardinha.
Indeed. And
So that
Sardinia
overtake
has
happened.
issues, and Michael Zwart is actually super close behind him.
Yeah.
Could be a chance to overtake him if he has more issues. And the track has definitely dried up quite a bit.
As we can see, even the commentators are getting the names already messed up between the order because there is no overtaking happening on track and on camera. Now Michael
So
Schwartz.
checking back the data, Egan actually pitted, let's say, later. He was not among the early pitters, just the pit was better executed by the Williams team.
Oh, and we have another one. This is Quartergevo now,
replay
and the
there.
same thing. He might be fine actually.
A little bit. Yes, those wet tires might get worn out pretty quickly as the track dries up, and they are prone to overheat quite easily once there is not enough water. So saving these tires will be so important to be able to reach the end on this same wet tire set. But nobody's making the move of pitting for inters, and it's normal because that would make you come out of the pit lane so far and have to overtake people.
As we see here, Robin Geisler is getting soon to be getting lapped by Jack Def, which is the first time this has happened on a Formula 1 race in Community Series.
It's not the first time that it happens, but it sure is the first time that it happens this early in the race.
But we know it's Monaco, and the drivers who are pretty much faster than the other drivers. They are gonna be lapping much faster, and we have seen it here.
What is?
Jack Def is now right behind Robin Geisler. Should let him pass some way, and traffic is an issue.
He has the blue flag and he is forced to let him pass. Of course, Väisänen has lost a tiny bit of time, actually.
And now we see both Aston Martins on the screen, very close to each other. Eigen is right behind him.
Aaron Hagen has plenty of space, of pace. Not plenty of space actually, but plenty of pace behind Springfield. Is he looking for an attack somewhere? And some fact in radio complains about his wet tires overheating. He's trying to find the wettest patches on the track to cool them down.
Will Eigen try something now? No, he sticks behind, but he's really close. Actually, Springfield has lost some facts.
Wonderful onboards from the wonderful Williams livery. Well, the wonderful Williams with this livery. And Sarah Springfield again trying to block people like in Melbourne. Like in China. The train conductor. Doing it again.
Väisänen has closed the gap again on Jack Def. Will he make
Väisänen is very close. And the radio call in 3 laps, grade 3 rain again on the track.
It's getting worse again.
Look at how much water there is outside of this chicane. How much water has accumulated even here? It's crazy. If a driver goes wide somewhere, he's gonna have trouble.
Yeah. As you see, Sam Fact is losing a lot of time now. And he is complaining that his tires are overheating. And are not in good
He
condition.
already was complaining, so that's the second time he complains.
Yeah.
He's dropping away. Porto-Kevu radio call complains about an ERS issue, apparently.
Michael Schwartz is attacking Sardine Hazard.
Oh, wow.
Trying it back. This is the first battle we have seen over a long time now.
And Michael Swart managed to pass. Wonderful pass by Michael Swart.
Yeah, but Sardine has problems with the car.
Has issues indeed. It makes the task a tiny bit easier, but you still have to make it. And Riley Swanson may be looking to do something on the next lap. Michael Swart in the points after missing Q3 for the first time.
Moved up one place now. He qualified 11th and now moved up. It took him a long time, but he is in the points now. And we can see Sandin Heiss having a long train behind him. F1 so is soon to catch up to this train.
The rain is intensifying at the time we're speaking. Rain is picking up and it's falling as hard as it was earlier on. Duarte Sardinia. The real train conductor this time around with his technical issues.
Train has picked up again, so teams are looking out again. More of this rain for 10 or more minutes, says Lucas White's team, Racing Bulls.
And there's a radio call to Jason Roy, telling him that his tire temperature and condition is good. He can use the tire. So it's been clear to him that he had to save his tires. And he's now able to push a bit more on it. Let's see if he increases the gap to Snitchek behind. And the rain is very intense again.
It's 20 degrees Celsius and the track is 36 degrees Celsius.
We lost at least 7 degrees of track temperature since the start. And air temperature keeps dropping.
It's a cold day again, like it was in Imola.
A reasonably cold day indeed. Well, cold. We cannot say 20 degrees is cold by any means, but it's surely fresher than some of the 30-degree afternoons we've had at times.
Now reporting problems with their cars, so both Saubers now having problems. Not good weekend for Saubers so far. The first few rounds they were looking strong, but what happened now with them? Robin Geisner is not having the pace.
And as the race is ongoing and the drivers are unable to attack any car without taking the huge risk of sending both cars out, I was expecting the weather to be a bit more on and off and maybe trigger pit strategies from the teams, but it looks like the rain has not interrupted or weakened long enough for the teams to think about pitting. So they're keeping their wet tires until the end. And we might well see a one-stop strategy regardless. If of course, big if the rain continues like we're seeing here. It looks like it's gonna be like this for 10 minutes at least. Full wet conditions in Monaco. Lap 54 out of 78. And the temperatures keep going down. Is someone going to be able to overtake Springfield? Or, well, Sam Fact is pretty much the train director. And is someone going to be able to escape from the Sardinia train?
Yeah, we can see the leader gaps now. Simon Trisnik is 22.8 seconds away from the leader, and Springfield is even more further, 31.6 seconds. Yeah, the gaps are pretty big, to say at least.
We're seeing images that look like pretty much what we had early on when it was pouring down this much. Huge sprays, standing water, sliding a little bit all over the place. We saw Springfield slide a bit at the exit of turn 17. And something to consider, the tires are getting worn out. So I don't know who is going to be able to make with the same set of wet tires to the end. But they're gradually losing efficiency.
As we see again, Bison has closed in the gap in Jack Def. He's holding on into Jack Def.
Lap 57 of 78. 21 laps remaining. And we have a replay.
Michael Schwartz.
M-
Oh no.
Michael Swart cutting the track on turn 16. He might have a track limits warning.
That's the second one for him. Or is it the first one? That's the second one for him. He has done it for 2 times.
For Michael Swart. For Michael Swart, it's the first time.
Oh, first time. Okay.
And a radio call from Jaulet. Apparently complains about something that is not working as expected on his car. He's currently 17th and having a huge struggle around this place.
We're on lap 58. Out of 78, we have 21 laps to go. So far, we have seen 3 overtakes on track. And plenty.
And position switches in the stands, in the pit lane. Grade 3 rain continues for 2 to 3 laps and then drastically weakens. That's what they're telling to the Racing Bulls drivers, to the Racing Bulls engineer. Got that info.
And Egan is struggling now. Racing Bulls are both right behind them. Racing Bulls have collectively catched up to Egan. And we can see the sky is getting lighter. The rain is going away.
There we are. Rain looks like has weakened.
Yeah. These two still on their own. Like we have seen. Jack Def was so close to having a Grand Slam, like we used to say, take pole, win the race, lead every lap and have the fastest lap, but he has lost few things already. Lead every lap and have the fastest lap.
So with some 18 laps to go, Jack Teff is still leader of the Monaco Grand Prix. In front, well, ahead of E2, Weisselen, Jason Roy is third, 19 seconds adrift. Followed by more or less closely Simon Slichek, Sam Faxer, Strangefield, Aaron Egan, Quarterkev, who's ninth. 8th, sorry, Lucas Wright is 9th. Michael Swart currently closing the top 10.
Then Sardinha, Riley Swanson, Randy Belasik, Nathaniel, Joshua Nathaniel, Ignacio Reta, Alfonso Casino, Zhao Lei, Nick Bayer and Robin Geisler closing the top 19. And who has joined recently on the broadcast, Lear Delagras crashed on lap 1 and retired. There we are, Jason Roy. Driving alone still. Nobody behind, nobody in front. And the other Alpine.
What a weird race it has been for Jason Roy.
Nothing to do, just drive. And for his teammate Nick Bayer, he's 18th. Not the very best place. Lucas Wright on our screens now. Interesting season for him so far. He's a reigning champion, but will he be able to defend this title? Right now it seems like no. As you see now, Weisselen is close on Jack Teff.
Into Weisselen applying some pressure again. And the cars remain on full wet despite the track seemingly drying out. Are they trying to join the to finish with these?
But still we haven't had any mistakes or crashes, which is interesting. You can see on Jack Teff's car how his rear tires have worn out of the middle. We have 15 laps to go on this Monaco Grand Prix.
15 laps to go. It looks like it is just a walk in the park, but the conditions today make it not at all be that.
still we have to applaud these drivers on. They haven't made any mistakes on the wet period. They're still driving, no wall touching, not anything. Some mistakes in turn 16. And we have heard from the Ferrari team crew that the rain is intensifying again in the next 4 to 6 minutes. The rain is
Grade
not going
2
anywhere.
to grade 3 rain to come, indeed.
The rain is not going anywhere, as it seems so far.
Lap 67 out of 78. Conditions remain pretty tricky. Rain actually weakened quite a bit. And as we are seeing, the tires are overheating quite a bit for many drivers. We have a radio call from Sam Fact saying that he's slipping a lot. He doesn't understand why all of a sudden the tires overheat. But they are trying to keep this tire to the end. Nick Bayer doesn't think about that and pits for Inters.
He's actually pitting to what tire now? Is the main question. We can see it on board now into new wets. We can see how worn out these wets were.
New wets?
Yeah, he's going to new wets.
New wets? But the track has dried up quite a bit.
We can see the rain is intensifying.
The track has dried up quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't understand this choice. Maybe they're seeing something that we don't. We can see how much his tires have worn out now.
Yeah, and it's visible on the way he drives. He's struggling.
Simon Trisnek is now
Right
complaining.
now, I believe the track has dried up enough for people to just get in theirs. Don't you think?
Don't know. Oh, there is now we're getting. Okay, now I get why Alpine didn't make this choice. There are more rain to come in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Maybe Bayer made the right choice, we don't know. But we have heard from the team. We have 10 laps to go on this Monaco Grand Prix. Kornbekevu complaining again on his issue. But
Indeed.
fine.
Once again,
But I think he's fine
more
until the
issues. He's in the points. He's in the points, but watch out. The heavy rain's coming back. And now there's a strategic decision to be taken. Are the drivers pitting for new tires,
and
or are they keeping their current set of tires?
Sam Fact is puncture.
Oh, Sam Fact killed his tire. Puncture for Sam Fact as he unfortunately overheated his tire severely, and it's been a long time he's on this tire and he won't be able to see the end of the race. Or maybe he will, but he will take so much time from there to get back to the pit lane. Sam Fact ruins his race now.
To see how he's holding up everyone now.
Oh, this is difficult for him. And now he needs to avoid making contact with people behind, and it's kind of what happened right there. Randy Belichick actually touched his rear left wheel with his front wing. We hope he doesn't have damage.
We can see how careful everyone is behind him.
And watch out, ladies and gentlemen, in typical Monaco fashion, we might well have a literal sleeping fest for 60 or 70 laps and have a completely mad end of the race.
You might see something different now because Simon Trisnek and Sarah Springfield are both complaining on the tires. What is Aston Martin doing now? Sam Fact just reached the pit lane.
He needs to change his tire if it's possible, but I believe he damaged the car as well. Looks like he's able to pit. It was a slow enough puncture for him to be able to pit and come back to the track without any drivetrain damage.
What is
or it looks like he doesn't.
And now Belichick got one.
Oh, Randy Belichick with a punctured tire. Randy Belichick with a punctured tire.
What is happening?
And this season is a nightmare for him. Now he has the puncture. He brought those full wets to the very, very end.
And now it's all playing into Bayer's hands. It's all playing into his hands. Did Alpine make the right choice to pit him? Was it the right choice now? We have 7 laps to go.
And now imagine if he's able to gain so much time over the other drivers. He might be able to come back and score points. We never know. He has fresh wets. He can attack.
As we see now how much Belichick is losing. Bayer has overtaken him. He's
And
losing a lot.
radio call for Alpine. Grade 3 rain is coming and will last until the end of the race. Grade 3 rain until the end of the race. Severe rainfall until the end of the race. We might even
And
maybe
another pit stop mistake for
Randy
Brandy.
Belichick.
Again, the second time
It
they
was-
made.
This race is a nightmare, and after the Miami hopes, the Monaco despair for him, and Nick Bayer is on a comeback mission. The gamble to pit when nobody expected the full wets to maybe not come to the end, and now Monaco is such a scary track to even attempt to overtake on, especially in these conditions, that all teams are trying to make it to the end with their tires. We're hearing calls to manage the tire temperature and use the standing water to cool the tires. It looks like someone who's done it better than most. At least the strategy part was better than most for the Alpine team, because Jason Roy is gaining time on the other cars, all the other cars on track. If we look at the latest lap times, he is the fastest car on track if we accept the fresh, those on fresh tires,
Yeah, he
of
is.
course. He has a 23.8. Other cars are well above 25. There's
He's
maybe enough
keeping-
time
he's
for him
keeping-
for a late shot for the win.
Yeah, he is keeping up with the fresh hard tires on Nick Bayer's car. He's keeping up with the time. So he has pace
To
now.
be honest, that's more bad news for Nick Bayer, because if he's able to gain more time, why not? Maybe
might
he
win
can
this.
overtake a few cars.
Yeah, I mean, he might be able to win this if the front two get the puncture or they not, or they pit. And Nick Bayer is gonna be getting a lot here from this pit stop that he made, the team made
And
for him.
it's certainly too late. It's certainly too late for other teams to think about pitting even. It's just about now the track is so wet. The overheating is not going to be an issue anymore, but they need to survive with the grip, because those worn out wet tires don't have grip anymore.
This is a message to Pirelli now for the next year's race. This is a message for Pirelli from each team now if everyone gets a puncture.
But to be honest, it's not Pirelli's fault. It's the team's fault, to be honest. If they have data suggesting that the tire is in puncture zone because it's so worn out, and they gamble to go to the end because strategically it's so tough to take an extra pit stop here, then it's the team's gamble. It's not Pirelli. We can see that the right call has been made by Alpine to pit Nick Bayer on time.
And now Springfield got the puncture. We can
Sarah
see it, the
Springfield with a
sparks,
puncture. Both Aston Martins losing it all in the
but
end.
he was
Fortunately
close.
for her, she's so close from the pit lane. She can actually reach the pit lane, change her tires without extra damage, and then get back on track. It could actually be a kind of salute from kind of a fortune salute to have to pit there, because who knows now if other cars aren't able to make it to the end.
Yeah, we don't know, but
She comes.
we can see how much everyone is losing time now. Apart from the guys who have pitted, they are gonna start closing in on the.
She's out of the pit lane in 14th place. She's not so far away from the points. And to be honest, you know what? If I were Jack Teff right now and I'm seeing that, in order to protect the championship lead, would I have to gamble for the win? I would rather pit
Yeah.
and just push. But now it's getting late. It's only 4 laps until the end.
Yeah, we can see Sam Fact is right behind Väisänen, but he can't overtake him because he's a lap down.
And apparently the puncture has provoked a mechanical issue, probably with the drivetrain or the suspension for Sarah Springfield. Hope it isn't too bad. Oh, and Nick Bayer isn't able to overtake Zhao Lei despite the completely broken tire set.
We can see how the conditions is shaping up now. On the end we have 3 laps remaining on this race. Sardinha got the next. Sardinha is the next one to get the puncture on the main straight, and he has to drive another lap.
Oh no, Duarte Sardinia losing it all. He has the full lap to drive on. Can he even reach the pit lane safely? He's gonna get overtaken, including by Sarah Springfield, who passes him. And she lost so much time behind him, actually. Now had a full 3-second gap to...
We have 3 laps to go now. This is getting interesting now. We were sleeping 70 laps of the race, and now we are here. And it's all happening.
The Monaco gamble. Definitely a thing. And Jacktef, Eetu Väisänen, everyone in the top 10 committing to go to the end. And to be honest, right now, as Simon Snitschek is so far behind Jason Roy.
Yeah, he might be next, we don't know that. And someone has punch, and it's Sardinha. It's Sardinha who is still driving around. Will the win go to Jack Def now? He has 3 laps to go, and he's been held up. And now and he's
There's been
outside.
contact, I believe.
I think it's fine, but we don't know that yet.
We didn't
see. And now there was contact.
Another contact!
Why is Sardinha continuing on?
Is Duarte Sardinia actually trying to reach the finish with his punctured tire? We don't know.
It's a yellow flag.
We don't know. And there's a yellow flag now. What is going on?
Sector 3. Zhao Lei. And now everything is happening around there. What has happened here?
What did Zhao Lei just do?
Ooh, that was a
a slight kiss with the wall there.
Yeah. And that was the yellow flag. And the team is looking.
And watch out, there's probably now Zhao Lei's debris on the track.
But still, this guy
might actually get worse if,
but now
if someone drives on it.
But now Sauber, we can see the rear tire is fully gone on the car. There is no rear wing on the car now.
Duarte Sardinia trying to drive and survive till the end.
Look at the gap to the to second place. It's
Why did he not pit?
I don't know. That's an interesting question. That the team is doing something, but they already lost everything because they are dead last. Both Saubers now. What has happened?
Sauber with a nightmare weekend, and now the cameras are on Jack Teff and Eetu Väisänen. Can they reach the end without puncturing? Did they manage the tires well enough in their stern battle for nearly 2 hours now? It's the rain keeps pouring down here in Monaco, and the conditions are so bad.
It's the final lap for Jack Depp now. Can he now hold the
final
tires?
Lap?
It's all about
all
tires.
He needs is to pray that the tires reach the end.
And now everyone needs to pray that one more lap. They need to bring the tires one more lap because Jack Depp has crossed the line to the final lap.
And Nick Bayer was able to get back to 14th place with his
is now
strategic
running
call.
wide on turn 16. And Swanson got the puncture now. So Swanson lost a place. Ignacio is up to P10 now.
Ignacio Ureta will get to P10. And watch out, because I believe there is some kind of battle behind.
And
Or
now
are they in different laps?
Jack Def has done the masterclass. He is gonna do it. He's gonna win in Monaco in a fashion.
The only thing that's been missing in Jack Teff's weekend is the fastest lap. He's missed the hat trick. But Jack Teff, the championship leader, before, now, and even more after this race, wins a legendary Monaco Grand Prix in very tricky conditions. Of course, the racing hasn't been as exciting as on many other tracks, but we have seen a very uncertain ending to the race. Jason Roy was too far back to take advantage of his nicely managed wet tires. He finishes third, 10 seconds behind Eetu Väisänen in second. Simon Snicek is surviving till the end as well, finishes fourth. Important points in the championship. Aaron Eigen brings so important point for Williams for the Constructors' Championship. Quarter Kevu and Lucas Wright bring good points for Racing Bulls. Both Mercedes are in the points. Josh Nathaniel, the second of the Drivers' Championship.
And there is Sargent.
Well, he's not second anymore. It used to be second.
Zhao Lei having
Currently fifth on the Drivers' Championship.
yeah. Zhao Lei having a very different weekend than usual. Difficult weekend for him.
The disappointing weekend.
Riley Swanson around. While everyone is already on the lap. Everyone has done a lap. Jack Teff has already turned into the pit lane.
Indeed, and Riley Swanson is just trying to reach the finish line on a punctured tire in 15th position. Duarte Sardinia made 2 full laps on a punctured tire, thinking he could finish ahead of his teammates, but it is not the case. You can see the scenes of joy and celebration, and more than that, relief on Williams' side, because they must have been stressed seeing the other cars puncturing, that Jack Teff would maybe not make it to the end, but he did, and that's 25 more points for the championship leader. Eetu Väisänen scores 19, Jason Roy scores 15. A beautiful podium with another Alpine podium. This time it's Jason Roy that scores it.
Yeah, René
Kevu is the driver who most improved his position on the track, with a 6th from P15.
Yeah, Lucas Wright is 7th now. Hold this position from the start, and Michael Schwartz on P8, Joshua Nathaniel on P9, and Ignacio Red out of nowhere to the points. As we see the other ones, Afonso Cascino, Sarah Springfield, Nick Bayer, Lei Xiao, Riley Swanson, who had the puncture at the end, lost 4 positions. Randy Belasik, Sam Facts, Robin Geisner and Duarte Sardinha complete the entire finishing order. Liam Delagras, who crashed on lap 1, retired at the end of that lap. Now going to the drivers then.
We have Jack Teff comfortably leading the championship with now a pretty good gap following his win. He had I think 38 before the race, and he has now 43 points of a lead. Simon Stinchek comes back to the 3rd place of the Drivers' Championship, and behind Jack Tuff, it's pretty tight. We have Väisänen with a small gap over Snitschek, then Swartz is only 3 points behind in 4th place. Josh Nathaniel, Lam, Dora Cruz, Quarto Kevu, and Aaron Eigen are so close in the Drivers' Championship. Jack Tuff has an advantage for sure. Is he the favorite for the Drivers' Championship at this point? Yes. Is it over? Far from that. And there are over 7 drivers who still have something to say for the title fight. Jason Roy makes an interesting jump at the championship, knowing he was dead last before this race. Scores 15 at once. That's good for him. That's good for Alpine. And on the constructor side, we can see Alpine makes an interesting jump. We'll see later. But Williams increases his their lead to 39 points. McLaren and Mercedes score very few points this weekend, meaning that the gap between 3rd place and 6th place has considerably reduced. So we have a midfield kind of composed of McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull, and Racing Bulls, and the back of the pack from Aston Martin to kick Sauber, and the leading 2 teams are a little bit ahead, but it's early this season still. So it is now time to close the Monaco chapter of the season, and it is also time to quickly introduce the next racing weekend. We will be heading to a very known place in F1, that is Barcelona, the circuit of Catalonia, that will also host F2 and F3. And maybe we won't get rain compared to here. It's very rare to get rain over there. The drivers know the track well, and we will be expecting many more overtakes than we've had here as well. Thank you very much for watching this this race, albeit not really the most eventful race for the 3/4 of it. There were a few hot moments with the transition to wet tires when the rain came. There were a few overtakes at that time, and of course the end with the drivers surviving on their tires. Kevin, it was a pleasure again, and I can't wait to be on a true racetrack again, let's say, because Monaco is much funnier on Saturday than it is on Sunday. Barcelona, it's gonna be a lot of fun on Sunday as well.
Yeah, it was fun, and thank you everyone for tuning in and watching this, let's say, very boring Monaco Grand Prix. Yeah. I hope
To
see
be honest,
you-
for Monaco standards, it almost was exciting
Yeah, the ending was very
because we
exciting.
had some hot moments.
Yeah, but okay, we have to end the live stream now because yeah, the after show wants to start their broadcast. So yeah, we will let you go, and we will see you in Barcelona. Bye
In
for now.
2 weeks' time, I believe.
Yeah, bye for now.
Have a nice evening, and thanks for tuning in.